So we've got a really simple chicken recipe. I've got half of a chicken breast. I've actually just sliced it. This is only for myself. So half a chicken breast, you can obviously make this with as many pieces of chicken as you like, but I'm gonna show you the basics of what it's all about. Really simple, it's just a chicken breast with a really cool marinade that you ideally wanna have sitting in the fridge for at least an hour before you start making it. So essentially what we're gonna have is we're gonna have some lime, some chili powder, some cumin, some salt and pepper, and that's it. So I've got my skillet warming up, and you can do this on the barbecue, on the stovetop, doesn't really matter. So the key is really the marinade. I'll start on one side and then we'll switch over to the other. So I'm gonna throw in some cumin. And there's obviously all sorts of different types of marinades you can make with chicken and fish and meat and stuff. So we're just giving you a couple options here just to change things up and add a little bit of spice and flavor into your dishes. Because that's really what it's all about. I mean, having a piece of meat by itself, not as fun, not as exotic as adding in some of these flavors. And obviously we want to marinate both sides. So I'll just finish off doing the same on this side. Add in the same ingredients that I just did on the other. And obviously, you know, when you're like a marinade, the real power of it is really when it's kind of sinking in over time. Doing this, 2 seconds before I throw it on the grill, it's not going to have the same benefit in terms of the flavor that it gives to the meat. It'll probably still be better than not doing it at all. So I'm just going to pat this down with the fork. And I mean, again, just a reminder, when you're working with raw chicken, you want to be washing your hands after, if you're touching the raw chicken, wash your hands with soap. Clean the cutting board with soap so you don't have any salmonella issues. And I should probably just, make that public service announcement. Okay, so the pan is nice and hot. I'm going to use butter to get things going. So I'm going to move the butter around like so. And then, once that's ready, I'm going to take our chicken and I'm going to put it right in. Okay, so I'm going to keep it on kind of medium heats. I'm not going to go crazy high heat because I don't want to burn the chicken. So again, medium heat, we're going to let it sit. Because it's a thinner piece, it's not going to take as long, but it might take 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And the whole idea with chicken is that it should be white inside, it shouldn't be pink, but it should also not be very tough to chew on. So it's kind of to find this fine balance. I do want to share a cool little barbecuing trick with you, or this is actually good for any kind of meat, is the finger test. So if you take your, and I don't know if this works with chicken as well as it does with red meat, but just think about this. So if you take your 4 fingers and your thumb, if you take your index finger to your thumb and then press in here, okay, that is pretty much what a rare would feel like, okay? So a rare piece of meat. If you took your middle finger and thumb, this is kind of medium rare. This is done, okay? And then pinky to thumb is well done. So that definitely applies with red meat, but chicken, a little bit different, but you can still use that kind of pressing type of technique to see if it's still mushy or kind of a little bit more done than it needs to be. So anyways, we'll let that do its thing for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and see how it is. All right. Chicken is ready. It's been about 5.5 minutes, I would say. And there's the finished product. Looks really good, smells even better. I will, obviously I'm not gonna take a bite because it's piping hot, but I will show you inside. So let's cut this open to have a little investigation. And as you can see, by looking at the meat, it's white, there's no pink inside. And it's actually, I can just tell by cutting it that it's really, there's still a lot of juice in there. It's not very tough. It's not gonna be a very dry piece of meat. So that is our marinated chicken. So really, again, our Margarita chicken, which is obviously a marinade for the chicken, but it's just a nice way of changing things up. So you're not always having a boring piece of chicken when you have chicken. So really simple spices, cumin, chili powder, lime juice, salt and pepper. This whole thing takes you 6 minutes to cook. And you can have a nice salad on the side with this or any of the other side dishes that we've prepared throughout these videos together. So there we go, our Margarita chicken. Give it a shot and enjoy.